Let me reiterate at the outset a clear message. The Akufo-Addo government is not against small-scale mining. On the contrary, the government is in full support.
In the year 2019 and 2020, Ghana was the #1 African country with the highest gold mine, beating South Africa. The country mined 142.4 tons of gold in 2019 alone. And according to the Ghana minister responsible for lands and natural resources, Honorable Samuel Abu Jenapo, 40% of the country's gold output came from illegal small-scale miners, locally known as galamseyers.
The small-scale mining industry contributes almost 40% to our nation's gold output.
Even though these illegal small-scale miners was contributing a lot to the country's total gold output, but at the same time, their activities was slowly killing the future of the beautiful country because they were illegally mining on Ghana's river bodies and forest reserves, which was destroying the country's water bodies, lands, and forest reserves. So in May 2021, President Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo directed the Ghana Armed Forces to help stop all persons involving in illegal mining activities on water bodies and forest reserve, which they named Operation Halt. And in fact, the Ghana Armed Forces did a very wonderful job for Ghana by removing all illegal miners from the country's water bodies and forest reserves.
We'll fight until all the illegal miners are flushed out from this place.
And now, some of the rivers being destroyed by illegal miners are now restoring itself back to normal.
So gentlemen, I mean, this is very good news, and I'm very excited about this. As you've heard from the regional boss of the Minerals Commission, this is River Tano, which was in the past highly polluted and which seems to have cleared up now. I mean, as you can see for yourself, it appears cleared up. But the bottom line is that we haven't gotten to where we want to, and we cannot celebrate at this stage. It will require a lot more work, consistent work, and a concerted effort for us to clean up all the river bodies of our country. And I've had a meeting with the Regional Security Council, and they've assured me that they are going to maintain the efforts that we've put in place so that we sustain these gains and also make gains in several other places. I mean, this is excellent news. This is the clearest water I've seen since I became Minister for Lands. That's really good news. Thank you very much. Thank you.
But as Operation Halt was very successful, hundreds of thousands of illegal miners also lost their source of livelihood. So on 25th of October 2021, President Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo launched a program called Alternative Employment for Galamseyers. This program is to help relieve the hardship of those affected by the government's effort to sanitize the mining industry. And this is what the President said during the official launch of the Alternative Employment for Galamseyers. But before that, please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you very much for liking. Now, enjoy.
It is good to be back once again to this famous mining town, Takwa, for the launch of an important initiative of the Akufo-Addo government for the mining sector, the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program, a program designed to help alleviate the hardships of those affected by government's efforts to sanitize the mining industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Nananum, with Ghana having been blessed with so many minerals, it is not surprising that mining has always played a significant role in our lives. For centuries, our minerals have been the attraction for investors, adventurers, and fortune seekers. Many foreign thrones and crowns are adorned with the gems taken from our lands, not always through straightforward means. The pursuit of gold in recent years through the phenomenon of illegal mining or galamsey has reduced many of our forests to degraded lands and some of our rivers to polluted water bodies. It is no wonder, therefore, that some describe these minerals as curses instead of the blessing and good fortune they should be. In order to help curb the menace of illegal small-scale mining, the Small-Scale Gold Mining Law, 1989, PNDC Law 218, was passed to regulate small-scale mining and to facilitate Ghanaian participation in the mining industry. This law prohibited the use of explosives and heavy machinery in small-scale mining in favor of less expensive methods. Today, without any form of license, some Ghanaians are conniving with foreigners to mine everywhere with explosives and heavy machinery, including in forest reserves and water bodies. Let me reiterate at the outset a clear message. The Akufo-Addo government is not against small-scale mining. On the contrary, the government is in full support of responsible small-scale mining activities, as they provide an avenue for Ghanaians to participate in the mining industry and contribute substantially to our gold exports. Available data shows that the small-scale mining industry accounts for some 40% of our gold exports and has played a critical role in making Ghana the leading producer of gold in Africa. Small-scale mining should therefore be encouraged, and we will do all that is necessary to promote it for our collective benefit. What we cannot do and will not allow to happen is to permit mining activities to threaten the environment which sustains our lives and the lives and livelihoods of generations unborn. We owe a sacred duty to preserve the environment even as we reap the benefits of our natural resources. Small-scale mining can and must only be done responsibly. It is for this reason that in my last state message on the state of the nation, delivered to Parliament on the 9th of March 2021, I call for a national non-partisan dialogue on illegal mining in order to chart a sustainable way forward out of the menace. Thankfully, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, under the dynamic leadership of the new youthful minister, the Honorable Samuel Abu-Jinapor, Member of Parliament for Damango, organized this dialogue and has gone ahead to hold regional dialogues in the forest and savanna zones. Reports from all these dialogues are in agreement that the consequences of illegal mining are dire, which must be dealt with head-on. The Akufo-Addo government has rolled out several interventions aimed at sanitizing the small-scale mining sector, including legislative reforms, public education and awareness creation, resourcing the regulatory agencies, enhancing compliance and enforcement through the use of both better resourced national security apparatus and specialized task forces. In our efforts to help protect the environment, we've had to take far-reaching measures, such as authorizing the involvement of the military in Operation Halt, as well as decommissioning and demobilizing machines and equipment used for illegal mining in forest reserves and water bodies, which have been declared red zones for mining. far-reaching and biting as these measures have been, they were necessary to halt and reverse the trend of ever-increasing turbidity of our waters and the continuing degradation of our lands, and to safeguard our environment for posterity. These efforts have resulted in significant gains, with some of the water bodies visibly clearing up. Today, after sustained hard work, we've reached a situation of reasonably satisfactory regulation of the small-scale mining sector. Reforms of the Mineral Commission are ongoing. The Inspectorate Division is being strengthened, and across the country, the hitherto culture of impunity in the sector is becoming rapidly a thing of the past. I'm told, however, that despite all these efforts, there are still some who have resorted to mining in the night to evade the regulatory and security agencies. Let me assure you, fellow Ghanaians, that we have enhanced the monitoring of these activities, and all those involved will face the full consequences of the law when apprehended. As apprehended, they shall be. Undoubtedly, the lives of several people, including women and children, depend on these illegal activities. But the sheer impact of these activities on the environment mean that we cannot allow them to continue. A comprehensive approach to tackling this cancer, which demonstrates also our commitment to social solidarity and harmony, requires that while working with the security agencies for the protection and proper utilization of our natural resources, we fashion alternative means of livelihood for those affected by the crackdown. This is important because our mineral resources are finite and we will not have them forever. We should diversify our sources of livelihood, even in mining communities, to reduce the impact of the depletion of the resources on our social and economic lives. Already, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, through the Minerals Commission and the Minerals Development Fund, is working with other partners to implement some alternative livelihood programs to promote socio-economic development in mining communities. But following a heightened drive in recent years to deal with illegal mining activities in red zones, many more illegal miners have lost their illegal sources of livelihood. It is to provide legitimate alternative sources of livelihood for such persons, the government has decided to initiate the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program. This program, first of all, seeks to mitigate the unavoidable hardships which our efforts to sanitize the small-scale mining sector has created, particularly in the 5 regions that Operation Halt carried out its operations. It is intended to provide good economic livelihood options to illegal mining and its associated activities, and to enable those adversely impacted the opportunity to work and support themselves and their families. The program will also focus on reversing the negative impact of illegal mining on the environment through the National Land Reclamation and Reforestation component of the program. Given that most of our degraded lands are due to illegal mining activities, it is very fitting that any program targeting illegal mining should include a reclamation portion. This component of the program will restore degraded lands into economically viable lands, creating job opportunities for the youth, landowners, and communities at large. In keeping with our commitment to promote responsible, viable, and sustainable small-scale mining, the program will also include a community mining scheme, which will be the model for small-scale mining activities in the country. During my last visit to Takwa, I indicated that the Akun Community Mining Scheme was under construction and would be launched soon. I'm happy to announce that under the strong leadership of the Member of Parliament for Takwa and Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, the Honorable John Miraku Duka, the scheme is ready. And it is hereby commissioned as the first community mining project since the inception of this program. Community mining schemes will be supported by the Mine and Support Services, and altogether I expect it to create some 220,000 jobs. Let me stress once more, the government will not condone any illegal activities in the mining sector. The strengthened monitoring and enhancement regime we have put in place under the auspices of the Enhanced Mines Inspectorate Division of the Minerals Commission and the Regional Security Councils will ensure that all small-scale mining activities are environmentally compliant. In conclusion, at my request, the Ministry of Finance is committed to make adequate budgetary allocation in the upcoming 2022 budget of government to fund this very important policy. Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, Nananom, I have great pleasure to declare the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program duly launched.